Are you ready to crush your goals this year? Woo! I'm guessing that's the case, given you're here this morning, focusing on your growth and your development and connection. So as Rick mentioned, today's theme is Connect for Success. And I truly believe the most important place where we can start connection is with yourself and your vision. And when you start there, that'll serve you so powerfully in achieving your goals. Now, I found that achieving goals is a lot like navigating the river of life. There's two different approaches we can take. One is to go with the flow and embrace the current. It's a time when we're very aligned with our desires. It's a time of presence, of focus. And athletes typically refer to this state as being in the zone, where hours can go by and feel like minutes. It's clarity. It's where we feel like we get solutions and ideas to challenges that come seemingly out of nowhere. There are a lot of famous creators, inventors, athletes, and musicians that talk about the flow state, including Einstein, Tesla, Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, Beethoven have all talked about the flow state. Now, the great thing is, you don't have to be one of those legends to access flow. They just knew the power of it. Flow is also inspiration. And inspiration oftentimes causes us to take inspired action. And for those of you who don't know what inspired action is, it's basically an intuitive pull or impulse to do something or say something, and you may have no idea why, but you feel compelled to do it, and it's very strong. And that inspired action, so many times, will lead to the most amazing opportunities. You may think it's blind luck or coincidence, and I assure you that's not the case. So this is a very powerful way to operate from this state of flow. I'm going to share with you today how we get to do that. But first, I want to talk about what it's like when we're not in flow. When we're in resistance and force, it feels like this. It feels like overwhelm. How many of you are overwhelmed by our insurmountable to-do lists? All the projects and everything that we have weighing on our minds, it feels like frustration. How often have you been frustrated because you're working and grinding and spinning your wheels, but you're not making the progress or getting the results that you want to get? Life can feel chaotic. It can feel like distractions. We're constantly faced with different distractions every day, and they derail us from our vision and our goals. It feels like stagnation. We might be stuck and not know what the next step is to take on a project, so we don't take any action at all, or we feel stuck in life in general. How many of you have been there before? I know I sure have. And what I found is that when we operate from that place, it does not serve us. Not only does it not feel good, but we're not making any progress towards our visions and our goals. So I've been through quite the journey over the past several years, and I'm so grateful to have found 3 powerful practices that helps me get into that state of flow, and that's what I'm going to share with you today. The secret formula, which I call the Vision Project. Vision, ground, grow. That's how to get in flow. Now you'll notice it starts with vision, and that's because everything starts with a vision. Every single thing in life started as a vision before it came reality. From that desk, the chair that you're sitting on, to Blue Sky Restoration, both the building and the company all started as visions. It's truly remarkable. And my favorite part about vision is it starts by just dreaming. And really dreaming and dreaming big, dreaming without limits. Dreaming without worrying about the how or the when. And I know this may seem cliche, but really taking that time and playing all out. What does your heart desire? What lights you up? What inspires you? That is where my story began, when I took time to do that. I took time to dream. So I'm a huge proponent of vision boards. And for those of you who don't know what a vision board is, it's basically a visual, physical representation of all of your dreams and desires. So I made my first vision board back in 2018. I was still a full-time loan officer at the time, but I had this desire to inspire people and to help the homeless. And I don't know why, I just had this feeling in my heart, and I really emotionally connected with it. And it was super powerful. So I make my first vision board, and I looked at it every day. And I noticed that over the course of the year, I took different steps that kind of got me closer to my goals without even realizing it. And then I found, well, there were other factors that really helped me achieve those visions even faster. So that brings me to the next one, which is ground. And grounding is really just about taking time to be calm and centered and balanced. And there's 3 different ways I like to ground. The first is meditation. And before, I know a lot of you might be like, ooh, that sounds really scary. I don't know how to do that. It's not about how you're doing it, if you're doing it right. It's just about setting an intention and calming your mind and relaxing your body. That's it. It's a very, very powerful way to start your day. So I'm actually going to walk you through a brief grounding meditation so you get to experience what this is like. So I invite you to close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Take another deep breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Take one more deep breath in, breathing in peace, and exhale anything that's not serving you. Take a moment, draw attention to your head. Feel your head relax. Feel your neck and your shoulders relax. Feel your arms go heavy, your abdomen, your legs. Feel your feet firmly planted on the ground. Focus, clarity, connection, and feel gratitude for this intention. Take one more deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. And open your eyes, feeling calm and relaxed. That took less than 2 minutes, and it's such a powerful way to reset when you feel yourself in that overwhelm, in that resistance, because we don't make it anywhere. We don't make progress when we're operating from that state. It's such a powerful way to bring us grounded back into the present moment so we can eventually get back into flow. Going for an outdoor walk is another wonderful way to ground. It just brings presence. You get to be outside, get fresh air, connect with nature. Such a wonderful way to ground and center ourselves. And then the last way I like to ground is in gratitude. And I practice gratitude by thinking of 3 specific things that I'm grateful for. And I think of 3 things because they're super specific, so I can emotionally connect with that feeling and feel it in your heart space. Feel what that's like. And when we experience gratitude, we raise our vibrational state. And not only does it feel great, but we attract more things to be grateful for. These are very, very powerful methods. They help tremendously when we're stuck. I've been there, trust me. I'm a speaker and a coach, and sometimes I get stuck when I'm coming up with material. There's so much out there to cover, and I want to bring so much value, and it can really get overwhelming. And if you're not careful, it can really spiral out of control. I remember thinking, oh great, the girl who talks about flow can't even get in flow. Seriously. So I'm like, oh gosh. So then I'm like, well, take your own advice. So that's exactly what I do. So I'll take time to ground. And sometimes that does the trick. It opens up some headspace. At the very least, I feel better. And there are times where I'll just go out for a walk. It's the whole concept of slowing down to speed up. Because so many times I can sit there in front of my computer for 3 hours and from a place of force and resistance and get nowhere. Or I can go for a walk, open up some headspace, get some new ideas, and pick it up again. So what would have taken me 3 hours took me 20 minutes. And if that doesn't work, then I just need to table it, work on a different project, and wait until I start my morning routine and get back into flow from that place of flow. It's also very serving when you're stuck, like really stuck in life. Who's been there before? That happened to me. And it happened about a year after I created my first vision board. So at the time, business was like super successful. I reduced my hours from using the Vision Project. I cut my hours. Business was thriving. The charity was doing great. I was certainly grateful. I was practicing gratitude every day. So everything was awesome, but I was feeling empty and unfulfilled. And I thought there was something wrong with me. I'm like, how could I be a grateful person and have all these great things going for me and not feel right? What I came to realize was that as we grow, our visions and our desires grow. And that's totally normal. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So at that point, I just had to figure out what my new vision was. Now, again, coming from a place of flow and not from force, sometimes it takes a little time, and it's not something that you can just figure out overnight what I want. But by practicing the grounding, the going for walks, the clearing your mind, meditating, things open up. And I have to share this quote. It sits on top of my vision board, and it's a wonderful illustration of this. When I run after what I think I want, my days are a furnace of stress and anxiety. If I sit in my own place of patience, what I need flows to me and without any pain. From this, I understand what I want also wants me, is looking for me and attracting me. There's a great secret here for anyone who can grasp it. And that is so powerful. That's exactly what I did. I would meditate. I would figure out what's the new vision for my life. What do I want? And again, the more practiced you're at this, the easier it becomes. So I figured out that it was time for me to figure out my new vision board. I needed to make some adjustments. And at the time, I realized being a full-time loan officer just was not serving me anymore. I had a deep desire to bring the Vision Project out on a huge level. So I'm like, okay, I need to make some adjustments. At the same time, I'm like, well, I also don't want to sacrifice my success and all these amazing relationships that I've built. I want to make sure people are still getting taken care of. So again, just starting as a vision, within a year from that happening, the Litton Loan Group was formed. And I'm so grateful to have a team to help us and to grow our business. And that allowed me the time to get out and share the Vision Project and focus more on Hearts for Hope. So it's very, very powerful. So things are going great. Business is thriving. I have my new vision, my passion, life's awesome. And then life happens. The 2023, this is for all my loan officer and real estate friends out there. The 2023 loan officer costume. Lots of continuing bad news, panic, and alcohol to your morning coffee. That's pretty much it. Anyone in the industry can definitely resonate with that. So what I realized is, again, you can have your vision, your grounding, and life is going to happen. But I found it to be so powerful to stay focused on my vision and ground every day. I was continuously grateful. There's always something to be grateful for. And I did a lot of reflecting, and it's surrendering to the external circumstances and releasing control over something we have no control over. Grow. Grow is the last practice for getting into flow. And by growing, I practice that by listening to a podcast every day and reading every day, even if it's just for a little bit. There's a power in the consistency. So as I grow, I noticed that I've developed my knowledge and my skill sets of what I needed that just helped me attract my visions. I now have the skills to do so. So it's pretty awesome. And it also brings about inspiration. It gets those creative juices flowing. So when you read and you listen to things, you're like, oh, I could apply this to my life in such and such way. So one of my favorite stories about inspired action from growing is when I was reading Think and Grow Rich, the classic, by Napoleon Hill. And I remember reading about the power of the mastermind. I was like, ooh, I need a mastermind. This is exactly what I need to take the vision project to the next level. I need a mastermind. I had no idea where to find a mastermind. So I went online and I looked at some meetup groups and I didn't find anything. So I tabled it. Well, then I was invited to this group called Engaging Speakers. And during that group, we end up networking. And there were 3 individuals while I was networking who really stood out to me because they had their own creations, like I created the Vision Project, and they all had dreams to be speakers on a big level. So I was like, So again, total inspired action, impulse. I didn't even think twice. I reached out to them on LinkedIn and said, hey, you guys want to start like Mastermind? And they're like, okay. So we did. We all met up. We got to know each other. And spoiler alert, you probably know how this story is going to end. But just from taking that time to talk and share our ideas, and I said, hey, why don't we want to be speakers, why don't we create our own event? And I think they may have thought I was joking, but the power of inspired action, and that really happened. So within 6 months of meeting, the first Break the Mold happened. And it all started from inspired action and the power of a vision. My dream of being a speaker became a reality. That was one of my vision boards where I actually cut a picture of my face out and put it on the speaker lineup of this amazing organization that has over 20 million followers and made that happen. So I continued to ground and grow every day and stay connected to my vision and really take inspired action whenever it came about. And it's amazing what opportunities come about when you're in that state of flow. So one day I get a call from my friend Beth, and she said, hey, Carolyn, would you be interested in participating in this leadership self-development program with a focus on altruistic living? How's that for a mouthful, by the way? So I'm so grateful. Oh, and by the way, it's based in New York City. I'm so grateful for my friend Beth, by the way, and big shout out. She's here all the way from Virginia. Totally appreciate you. And I said, yeah, I would totally do that. I mean, that's my jam. Self-development, altruism, I mean, Vision Project, Hearts for Hope, count me in. Though that did not make any sense. Surely there are programs in the Chicagoland area, but I felt a strong impulse to do that and to go to New York. So I was absolutely blown away by this program. It's an experiential program and really helped me break through so many limiting beliefs, most especially one that of playing small. I'm like, I got to overcome that. So I was so grateful that not only did I complete the program, I went back twice to volunteer so I can be of service. I volunteered as a coach. And as fate would have it, I got partnered to coach with my friend Billy G. Billy G is also here all the way from New York. Awesome. So what happened? So we end up coaching together. He's an attorney, and he did some coaching. And I told him all about the Vision Project. And I think we had inspired action at the same time. We're like, we should start our own coaching program. So we were so grateful. I'm very grateful to have, for my core power, my genius, to help people gain clarity of their vision and to move and actualize them from a state of flow. And Billy is so brilliant in finding, he created a framework to help us organize our minds and reverse engineer our goals. And again, once you can do that together, the less resistance, the more organization, the more to get in flow. So we thought, wow, that's super powerful. If we can combine these together and add in the experiential program experiences that we learned in New York to overcome those limiting beliefs, we are going to have the most amazing program. And I'm so grateful that within just a short period of time, we've been able to lead an amazing group of individuals, gain clarity of their vision, and find their purpose, and move forward towards meeting their goals. It's absolutely, and it all starts from the power of a vision. We even use the same method in a short period of time to launch a retreat in Costa Rica to help people gain the clarity, access the state of flow. It's truly remarkable. So vision, ground, and grow. That's how you get in flow. So I invite you to close your eyes one last time. Think about how much time during the day that you spend in frustration or overwhelm or resistance, distractions. How does that feel? How would it feel if you can operate more from that state of flow with clarity, inspiration, and presence? You can open your eyes. Are you willing to be intentional, to slow down, to speed up? Are you willing to connect with your vision? Are you willing to take a little time every day to start your day grounded so you can feel calm, centered, and balanced? Are you willing to take time to do that, to grow every day, to learn so you can attract those visions even faster? The choice is yours. And I invite you to choose flow so you can go forth and be awesome. Thank you.